Hey, how's it going? If you're new here, my name is Jam and I love makeup. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. Today's video just came to me literally 5 minutes ago out of the blue. I was getting ready to do my makeups and I thought maybe I should just film this. What if someone is interested? So I am. I don't know if this is going to be helpful to anyone, but on the off chance, I'm going to film it and upload it, and maybe so. I would like to know if this is helpful for you. And if not, maybe it'll just be mindless entertainment for a few minutes, but I'm just going to get right into it and explain as I go. Okay, I have you all zoomed in. I've already done my brows and primed my eyes. I do have a brow video up on my YouTubes. If I remember, I'll link it. It doesn't change a whole lot over, time. It has, for sure, as I've gotten better. But kind of right now, I've found a brow routine that I really kind of like. But if you would like an updated video on it, I'll totally do it. Okay, so this is really just for if you want to clean up a little bit. Like maybe you want to look a little extra nice, but you don't wear a ton of face products. This is what I do if I just want to even things out a little bit. So I'm going to use my Wet n Wild Incognito concealer. This is in the shade light beige. It's not the exact right shade, but for what I'm gonna do, it's perfect. So I'm only gonna do one side so you can see the difference, because I think it definitely helps. Let me just see if I can tuck those away. Okay, that probably looks like a lot, but I literally haven't even dipped back in. I'm just going for the places that I need a little help. I mean, need, no, want, because, I'm 47 years old. I have pretty much earned every spot and every wrinkle. I have a couple that are darker, and I think it just, I don't know, it makes my face look maybe a little older or a little more tired. So I just try to even out the areas that look a little bit rode hard and put up wet. I usually pretty much every time I do my makeup do this little bit because it helps to lift or give the illusion of lifting my face so it doesn't look quite as droopy. And then I just bring down whatever's left on the brush, and then of course over my hyperpigmentation. It's not going to cover it because it takes a lot more than a little bit of concealer to fully cover the hyperpigmentation, but it does soften the look of it, which I think does a great deal with helping it look a little better. So just going to make sure everything comes along under the jaw, just so there's no like harsh lines. I primed my eyes with my hard candy little pencil thingy below my brow, and then my Davina Prelusion from my lash line to my brow. So there's one side concealed. And I think it makes it look a little bit nicer. Like I said, you can still see all the things, and that's fine. Like, I'm I'm okay with that. I just maybe don't want it to be the kind of spots that reach out and smack you in the putum. But also not going for like super full coverage. Now I'm going to use my Nakia Joy Velvet Finishing Powder where I put the concealer. And for that, I'm just going to use a velour puff. Boop it a little bit, tap off on the lid. I don't go directly under my eyes, but I am very oily in my T-zone, so I tend to pat it on there pretty heavily. I dip into the cover for whatever was knocked off and just gently hit the spots that I concealed. I'm going to go in with a powder foundation. So, you know, it doesn't have to be like super powdered down, but a little bit, because we don't want the powder or the powder foundation to stick to the concealer. And then just make sure there's no wrinkling. And whatever is left, I just do a tiny bit under my eye, because boy howdy, it is so wrinkly under there. It's supposed to be. Everybody's eyes are. It's, you have to move that area of your face, so it needs to wrinkle. Yeah, that makes sense, right? And I just grabbed my Ulta Beauty Collection finishing powder. It says lightweight matte powder in the shade Light Natural. So this is not like a heavy duty powder foundation. I have one from L'Oreal. I have one from Maybelline that are a bit more pigmented, but this is perfect for what I want. It will help tone down the oils as well as a little bit more evening on my face. And this I'm going to drag down my neck because, you know, we would like it to match as best we can. And then, of course, the forehead. I find when applying the powder foundation, you do have to go in several times, you know, scoop a little bit or rub a little bit on and then pat it, and then rub a little bit on and then pat it. But I also use this as a finishing powder sometimes with a flimsy brush. I think it works great. And because that kind of really evened everything out, I'm going to go in with a bit of contour and bronzer. Nothing wild and crazy. I'm going to use my Kaleidos. If you don't love bronzer and contour, you can totally skip any step you want to, but you can definitely skip this one. However, I really do like, at the very least, a little bronzer. So perhaps I will skip contour, just do bronzer. So dipping into the bronzer shade, which is the more warm / orangey, and again, not going in heavy, not doing a boatload, just a little bit to add dimension to my face. I'm not even going to use blush. I'm just going to do a little bit of this, and then of course, you know, a little of this, because you can never have too much on your neck, unless of course you tan your neck, which I don't. My neck never sees sunshine, ever, no matter what I do. I can't lay on my back, so yeah, that's why. And then, last but not least, and I know, crazy fast, but I think impactful. The little girl on Instagram, what does she say? Something about minimum effort, maximum slay. And though I am not delusional enough to think that I'm slaying anything, I do think that it is minimum effort for a not too bad face. So I'm going to use my Catrice Sungasm. This is a great highlight. Holy moly. It's also one I will bequeath to my grandchildren, who will be able to leave it to their grandchildren, who will probably be able to leave it to their grandchildren. And it will still have plenty of life left. Not like little on my nose. I am going to film an eye look for another video, but even if I wasn't, if this was pretty much my face, I would take the highlight on the inner corner and just a little bit in this area. I have really hooded eyelids, and this part right here is like super chubby. Like really kind of needs some liposuction. But if I put a little bit right there, it gives the illusion of lift. If I do too much, it looks like it's hanging over and trying to attack my eyeball. But this is pretty much what I would do if I just wanted to clean up my face a little bit. So let me zoom you in. Makeup, naked. I honestly think either one is totally fine, but I do like the side with a little bit of makeup. It just looks a little bit cleaner. Maybe not younger, but like discoloration is a pretty big indicator of age, and so I just think it helps a little bit. So that's that. What do you think? My rosacea has been very, very good lately. That's what all this redness is. I've been using my snail slime regularly for years now, and my face really likes it, so I don't know. Hopefully this was helpful or entertaining short video, but what if you were wondering what you could do without wearing a boatload of makeup? Now, of course, you could use a fluffy brush to apply the powder foundation, and it would go on a lot lighter. So you could have even like lighter coverage if you wanted it. You could use the concealer all over your whole face if you wanted more. If you're gonna do that, though, you could just use foundation. The first time I saw a no foundation look, I was like, oh, you can look like that without foundation? Yeah, but only if you put concealer everywhere instead of foundation. So yeah, that was disappointing. You can't cover your face unless you're putting on makeups, but all right, I'm going to go. Hopefully this was helpful or entertaining. I don't know. If it was, give it a thumbs up. If it wasn't, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Be good, and remember to be kind to you.